Yeah. What's going on, people? What's going on, people? What's going on? Finally, the review I didn't want to do. PlayStation 4 console. My name is Snow. What's good, my G's? Ignorant Gamers in the house, and we're gonna just get into this. This is gonna be a long, in-depth review, as long as you guys can stand it. There is a shorter version, so look out for that. And if you're coming from the shorter version to see the long version, well, welcome. Let's strap up. This review will cover the PlayStation 4 as is out of the box. I will not cover the PS4 camera as it does not come with the system and is sold separately. Also, this review will come from someone that is a PlayStation 3 user and will not refer to any one specific console, and try my best to avoid any other names being pulled in. The format that I'm going to do with this is the hardware, the software, the network, aka the online, and the launch title. At the end, I will follow up my overall opinion of the entire experience since I've gotten my hands on a PlayStation 4. Right out the bat, starting with hardware. What's in the box? Well, you get your PlayStation 4 console, you get your PlayStation 4 controller, you get the HDMI, which comes standard now, obviously the power cord. You get 3 papers of codes that you can redeem. One is for $10, the other one is a PlayStation Plus trial, which is needed to play online games but not to use other features on the console. And then you also get a voucher for a 30-day trial of Music Unlimited. So after that, it's manuals, same old BS that you get anywhere else. Now on to the design of the console. This thing is beautiful. I mean, people couldn't figure out what they call the slant. It's a trapezoid, if I'm not mistaken. You got 2 USBs in the front. You got the proprietary, cord in the back for the camera, which is sold separately. HDMI in the back. The power cords in the back. Internet cords in the back. The half gloss, half matte, I think it is, with the stripe going down the middle when it's standing up, looks really good. And actually, when it stands up, it's like a throwback to the PS2 in some ways. When it's laying down, which is my preferred method, this thing looks just as good. So I've had it sitting outside of my entertainment center for the duration of this, just to see, how good it look, and could it be outside by itself. The answer is yes, it could be outside by itself. Would I ever do that? Hell no. Mine's just gonna be tucked away like everything else. So the system looks good. I don't want to get into much of that, and yeah, that's that. Now, the controller, it's a little bit heavier. It's a little bit beefier than the other ones in certain ways. It feels so great in the hand. They've done so many improvements to the thing that I'm just gonna save that for when I actually get into in-depth about the thing. So I want to get into the console. One more thing about this console. I want to get into it. The console, 2 USB 3.0s in the front, plus a removable hard drive, easy access from the gloss side. This thing is powerful under hood. There's no need to get into 8 cores and 86X architecture and rah, etc, etc. All you need to know is that this damn thing runs and it flies and it's powerful, and it's going to hold us down for the next 8 to 10 years before it starts to look crazy. And even then, I still don't think people will understand how far this console is in terms of the PS3 or anything that's in the current gen right now. Current gen is 7th gen. This console, along with its X1 and Wii U, is 8th gen. So yeah. Now, back to the controller. The controller is amazing. So first off, let's just talk about the improvements. The L2, R2, which is the triggers, really feel like triggers. They have this little curve thing that goes on where your fingers can rest very easily when you're playing video games that are shooters, video games that are racers, video games that require you to use a lot of shoulder buttons to do functions that is your primary. So the L2 and R2 has finally been, I guess, I guess, designated to the L2, R2 buttons, which I'm all for. Other consoles have done it because their triggers work so well, and yes, this feels like a trigger. Now, what you may notice very easily is that the L1 and R1 buttons they appear to be rounded and maybe a little bit, I guess, thinner in terms of width, but the housing that holds it allows your fingers to roll back and forth between R1 and L2 and L1 and L2, and this is a really great added addition for when you need games that requires you to move the fingers back and forth. Usually when someone's holding the PS3, the PS2, or the PS1 controller, they feel the need to use their index and their pointer fingers to control both of those shoulder buttons, and now this is a very easy experience. Right off the back, I'm going to tell you, when you're playing Battlefield, you use R1 to spot and R2 to shoot. And while you're holding down L2 to aim down the sight, sometimes you need to, reload, and while you're reloading, when you press square, you press R1 to mark. I mean, it just flows. Like, it's a really, really good improvement that I know a lot of people are not picking up on. Another improvement or change that people are not picking up on is the face buttons, which is box, triangle, circle, and X. And yes, I said box, and yes, I said X. I say box because I'm hood, I say X because I'm hood. Yes, I understand, it's square and cross. Anyway, these buttons are closer together, which can help when you need to do something where you have to press both buttons. So fighters, when we get some fighting games on this console, it'll be really interesting to see what the fighters have to say about the face buttons when they use a controller. As of right now, the platform games bring it closer together and it kind of works. Is it much better than it is on the PS3? In a way it is, because you can kind of hit all 4 buttons comfortably, which means there's a shorter range to travel from. In games like Virtua Fighter, where I've used this controller on the PS3, I was able to get away with certain moves a little bit more fluently, so it'd be good to see what the pros think of it in that terms. Now, before I get into anything else, let's move off to the next traditional thing, which is the analog sticks. And the analog sticks have seen a major improvement. The analog sticks are, first off, they're no longer that mushroom top, as Ramon likes to call it. They actually give you some way where your fingers can stick inside the concave and they really don't move off when you're moving around, and that is a great feat. When I'm playing shooters, it's really awesome. When I'm playing, I didn't really mind it for car games, but I think the material on the PS3, which caused it to sweat easily or moisten up, is what really made it an issue for car games. But I've played Need for Speed Rivals with this thing, and it's actually pretty dope when you're using the left analog stick, and when you're using the right analog stick, again, it's pretty dope for, aiming around. Platforming games, there's only one out, knack, it works, end of story. The D-pad is still awesome. It's still awesome. It's still awesome. Now, you got the share buttons, which used to be select, and the options buttons, which used to be start. I'm gonna start with the option button. The option button is still start, because whenever you press start, you're looking for the options, right? Makes sense. So that still functions the way it is. One of my one of the things that took me a while to get used to is how close that start button is, because I would reach over to hit the options button, and I would hit the touchpad. More on that in a second. So having it right above, it's because they moved it over to make space for the touchpad, it's a little time to get used to, but you do. On the other side is the share button. The share button is pretty dope when you're trying to share content, whether it's videos to Facebook, or which automatically posts to your feed. I'll get into that later. Or you take a screenshot, or when you want to get into broadcasting your game on Twitch or Ustream, I get into that later. Or when you just want to get into the folders to actually edit the clips. So yeah, that's pretty good, and I'll get into that later. So now let's talk about the touchpad. The touchpad is really cool, and there are a few games using it right now, but I can see this being doubled and useful because the touchpad is also a button, and in terms of Battlefield, we would press select now to get to battle log for Battlefield 4. So if you want to get to Battlefield 4, you press the button and it goes there. So there's other games that I was playing. I think Killzone was one where I pressed it. Was it Killzone when I pressed it down? It was another. Oh, I think it was Call of Duty where I pressed it down and it popped up the scoreboard as usual. And so if anything, this is being dubbed back as the select button when you press down. Now, again, few games are using this. Killzone is using it as a touchpad, and it's implemented very well with one of their weapons that you use in the game. And Assassin's Creed Black Flag, it's a very, very, very quick access to a map. And this was something that I had an issue with Grand Theft Auto on the PlayStation 3, is I had to press too many buttons to get to a map. And this solves that issue if Grand Theft Auto was on this console, but it solved the issue for Assassin's Creed. Now, under the trackpad is a speaker, and right now only one game is using it, but the speaker is pretty decent. You can actually get into the settings and set the speaker sound. And when you're playing a game like Resogun will, the girl who's telling you, the lady, the female voice is telling you, you know, there's a human somewhere, go get the human, or the defenders or whatever. It emits on TV and it also emits here. That's pretty great. The PlayStation button is a little bit smaller, or at least it appears that way, and it does what it does. It has a double press function now that is pretty good, and a double press function, I'm gonna get into that a little later. But basically it can help you with resuming games and finding out of menus, and I'm gonna get into that later. Under that we have the EXT and the headphone jack. Now the EXT, I have to admit, it's one of those things on there where I don't really care for, so I didn't look into it because I don't have anything out the box that uses that. But what I do have that comes out the box that I forgot to mention is the Sony's headsets that comes with the system for free. And you can plug any 3.5, anything that has a microphone and a headset to it, so you don't have to use the Sony ones. That's why I forgot. You could use your Android or your iPhone, iPod, whatever headset, and it goes right in, and it's pretty good. The sound is amazing. Now, before I go any further with that, the one amazing thing about this controller in tandem with the PlayStation 4 is that you can take all the audio from the game and transmit it to the controller and turn your TV down, and all the audio with the chat sound is in your ears. Goodbye Pulse headphones. You've just been snubbed. So that's pretty great. That's an amazing technical feat. On the other side, I didn't talk about this yet, is the Sony indicator bar, which talks to the PlayStation and technically the user, and in other things it will talk to the PlayStation camera, let you know what player it is, let you know where the controller is, you know, in position if there's something motion based. And under that is the same standard USB jack that allows you to charge your controller and connects with the PS4. Overall, the grip of this controller is pretty great, and if you were worried or ever concerned that the PlayStation 3 controller was a nuisance to you, this controller fixes every damn complaint known to man when it comes to people beef with the PlayStation controller. The only bad thing that I have about the PlayStation 4 controller that I must, and it's not even a negative thing, this is just me being spoiled, is that the controller lifespan is 8 to 12 hours, and as opposed to 30 hours of the original ones, which felt more like 30 days. So as someone who plays their PlayStation Live, I gotta tell you, I've noticed that right away. So that's it for the controller. Now getting into the software, this thing flies. I mean, it is fast, it moves, it really moves. So when you first log into your PlayStation, you end up with the last app that you played, and here I am on Battlefield, the most awesomest game that keeps fucking up, the most awesomest broken game next to Medal of Honor Warfighter. So you start here. Off to the left you got this feed. I'll get into that later. You got the last games you play. Here's live from PlayStation. internet browser, all in the way of how the order that you play the games. And sometimes when you update stuff, it will move itself to the front. And at the end, you got the library, and the library is cool. If I had to say anything about the library, it is something negative. I upgraded from PS3 to PS4 with Battlefield 4 and Call of Duty. So I used the $10 code, and I still have to use the PS3 disc to activate these downloads. The terrible side is, you just saw me, or at least you think you saw me, breeze past Killzone. Killzone is not listed in there, and I have purchased the actual disc for this game, so I would have liked to seen it in there. I'm not really sure why it's not, but whatever. And since I'm on Killzone right now, there's something I like to talk about real quickly, is when you're on the game, if you're hooked up to the internet, you get information about the game. So here I am, cursor over, I press down, now I have a themed background. I can start the disc, or I can press the button and it'll tell me, you know, put the disc in. If this was a digital thing, it'll just start it automatically. You can like the game from here. You can see the overall related items, you know, related activities, related items. And it's really cool because here you can see new war zones, recently played, community, the game manual, which opens up the browser. If I was to press X and this thing was in here, it would take me directly into the multiplayer. I mean, it is that efficient. Father. That's the last trophy I got. Here's my trophies in this game without having to go the old school way to trophies and then find the game. No, it's right here. Another cool thing, it tells me, hey, here are your friends that play this game. In this game, I have 6 friends. Even cooler, I have a roll-up of friends that have activity in this game, and it tells me, you know, my friend Video Game King, shout out to him, he just played the game. I liked it. Again, I can hit start. I can view more content info. I mean, it's pretty dope. It's pretty good. In fact, he's not the only one, as I said, right? So here's go Video Game. They go my boy Ains Baines. They go me. You know, they go my boy Cutthroat. Shout out to Cutthroat. I didn't think he had his PlayStation yet. And that goes on for however long. Here's some add-ons. I can buy DLC. I can buy extra content right here. I can view the rest of it. It'll probably take me to the store. No, it didn't take me to the store. Wow. So here's another little thing right here without going to the store, but it will lead me to the store to buy. And it's all seamless when your internet is working very well. And I'll get into that later. I almost want to show you how fast it is when it says, like, see that this is not inserted. Can I do that on Battlefield? Let me see if I can do that on Battlefield. So Battlefield doesn't have that option, and that's one of the things that I noticed very well. And over here you can see I have 13 friends that play it, and this is how it lines it up when you have more than those grid of people. In fact, let me show you the grid for that right now, and this is the grid for what's going on with that. Give me 1 second as I plug in the game so you guys can see how quick it takes you to a match just from that screen. So I just put in the disc for Killzone, and as you can see, Killzone popped right up to the front because it recognized it in there. So I go down into the menu, it says new war zones, it says recently played. I press X, launches the game. I'd say right now we're about maybe 5 seconds in. There's load of screen. I am pressing the X button, but look, I'm already at the multiplayer. It says it's connecting. And I'm already at the multiplayer. How cool is that? Now, let me back out of that. And again, these are all apps now, so I can just close out the application. And there you go. I could probably go back in here and, you know, new war zones, and see what it does now with new war zones. See? New war zones. Takes me right into the game. And then you're just at the mercy of whatever the server thing is going on in the game. And as you can see, I'm not going to downplay it. I just want you guys to actually see this and how this is working. And imagine if I didn't have the disc, where I didn't have to get up to go put the disc in. This is just running right off the back. And it's pretty impressive at how fast it is and everything that's going on behind the scenes with this. And I can even suspend this to launch another app, you know, and while this is doing that, but I would still have to check it. It's not like I'm gonna get pinged and say that, hey, you finally made it in there. And for whatever reason, this is taking a little bit longer than I wanted to show you, which means, oh, now it finally goes. Alright, let me get up out of here. So, you know, again, it just goes to show you where this console is at in comparison to what it could do on the PS3. Now, I showed you the game's info of the game. What I didn't show you was if you press the options button when you get to a game, you can remove, you can delete, you can check the update history. And sometimes this is good because if there was an update for your game in the upper left corner, I'll show you that in a second, you know, you can see that it came in and it tells you the history of what's been fixed per game. Some games handle this a little bit different, but it's so good to see it in there, especially with games like this shit here, Battlefield. So again, you can check this out. You can also check out the information of the game. It tells you the parent control, last updated, the size of the game, and what version of the game. That's all tech stuff right there, but that's why we're doing a long ass one. Now, I mentioned something about launching this game and running in suspend mode. So again, I'm gonna launch this and I'm gonna put it in an area where you know I can't make this up, and you know for sure that, like, okay, this is cool. Right now it's connecting, and I'm going to do a bot zone just to illustrate exactly what's going on. And press start bot zone. So at the bottom you can see that it's gonna, oh, it tells me to select at least one map. And start bot zone. Alright, so this is gonna load. I want to get into the game first because we've already seen this screen and we already know what this does. And again, like I told you, this thing is amazingly fast when it comes down to this. And all I have to do when I'm here is just press the PlayStation button, go back there, or come over here, and it goes automatically. So let's see. One of the things that I think this is game specific though. This is specific to Killzone, but I feel like it shouldn't take that long to load up bots. But there we go. So the bots is loaded. I shouldn't have went there. I should have went to TV and video. I only have Netflix loaded. Well, I have IGN loaded as well. And you see the following application will be suspended. Do you want to continue? Press yes. Netflix loads up. I actually haven't been using Netflix on my console because I'm still running it on my most favorite device, which is the original Roku, the Roku OG. So here we go. Eddie Murphy, resume playing. Let's see where we're at. Alright, 119, 145. So I back out of here. Right? I didn't close it. I go into Killzone. Killzone is still here, still running. And apparently they've been going on for a little bit. And yeah. So now with this, right? I can go back to Netflix, resume, suspend this, and I'm still here at 1:19:48. If that ain't cool, as opposed to what it was last time, then I don't know what to tell you. And here I am at the hard press, and I can kill both applications. Yeah, holla at me. So the web browser, you know what? The web browser is the same shitty browser, or the same capable browser that it was on the last version. Shout out to Ains Baines. We were testing the PS4 share option, and that's all of us in the me, him, Video Game King, I think Blood, and I was in the other side of the elevator. So we was testing out the feature, seeing what's good, blah blah blah, etc etc. So that's that, right? Now I went through this part of the menus, and you might be saying, well, where's the rest of this shit? Well, here we are, the store. You see how I went up, press up, I'm already at the store. Then it's the notifications. I mentioned that to you earlier. Here's my friends, here's the messages, here's the party. I don't think anybody's on the party right now. Here's the profile, here's the trophies, which is also embedded damn near everywhere in the profile. Here's the settings, here's the power off. And I guess we can start with maybe the store. And yes, you can be in a game and jump into the store, in and out of the store, no problem. And yes, the store looks exactly like it is on the PS3, but the problem here, I mean, not the problem, woo, the solution here is, this is native. This thing flies. There is no stuttering like it does on the PS3. The PS3 store is a hassle to get into. So that's all I gotta say there. I'm not gonna dwell too much on the store. It's fast, get in there. The notifications, this is where some of the magic comes from. So you got run of the mill, what's going on, you know, can't send message, you know, trophy earn, blah blah blah, invitations if you were sent to a party, you know, those are there. No mass delete, but you can come in there and delete them one by one if need be. You know, your game alerts, I forget exactly what comes in the game alerts. I think if you get like I forget what it is, like events or something. And then here's everything downloading, updates and all the stuff like that. They go a system software update, and then there's an upload. So if you're sending stuff to online storage or sharing to Facebook or something, it will do this. As you can see, I got one right here for Twitter. On to the next option, you got your friends, and this one is a little bit more robust than before. You can search. Here's all your online with the number of people that's online, and here's all your friends with a number of people that's on your list. Players met. This breaks down into individual games, and sometimes it breaks it into a couple of individual games, which I'm not sure why it does that, but yeah, you see that, right? I'm not sure why it does that, but it's welcomed. I like it. I don't have a problem with it. So let me see, hold on. Players met, friend request, name request, players block, it's all there. And as you can see that every now and then it's doing this little circle thing, is because it's reading from the online thing. Now I do think that's an issue with my connection, so please don't hold that down. But I will say this, if your internet connection is somewhat slowing down for whatever reason, just like you're doing anything else, that may be a reason why your performance is slower with your console. In the messages, you can see that here's your standard, but if you realize we got rid of titles, but here's a group of us in here. Yeah, you can put screenshots in here. Ains Baines killed by nothing. You can, it tells you when you join, I can add a name to the group, to the party chat. Let me see. I'm going to just change this to Sparta. So I changed the name of this thing. I can actually add people into this. And yes, it does talk to people when they're on the PS3 as well. I can add a voice note. Hey yo, what's good people? It's your boy Snow, Ignorant Gamerz the house. Make sure you check us out on YouTube. Yes, this is a test. because I'm recording it right now for my review. So shut up and subscribe.
Hey yo, what's good, people? It's your boy Snow, Ignorant Gamerz in the house. Make sure you check us out on YouTube. Yes, this is a test, because I'm recording it right now for my review. So shut up and subscribe.
It's all good. Send it through. They all get it. Send it. There goes the bar. Bang, it's there. And all the messages are threaded. All the messages are threaded. At any time you can just add people to a message. So that's pretty cool. One of the things that's kind of an issue is you know, you don't have the way to do delete all, which I don't understand why this is always an issue. But hey, it's still light years above what we have or anything else. Now the party stuff is cool on a few levels. One, as you can see right here, my boy Prediction, shout out to SOCOM, shout out to H-Hour, please look out for H-Hour videos coming soon. He has the person who started that party is whoever his friend named Shifty. It tells you how long they've been in that party, and I believe that's hours to minutes. And then on the far right side, it tells you how many people were in that party without even going in. But if you needed to go in, you press the options button, and then you can check it out from here. You create a party. I can actually change the name of it if I wanted to. I can make it invite only or friends of friends. If it's invite only, they have this way where you can suggest people to come in, and then whoever's the admin has to approve them. The only thing that I don't like about that is I like the buffer, but it makes me friend them in order to make them come in, which I think it's a little counterproductive. So here it is. Everybody under me would be tabbed to the right a little bit, not on the right column, but just under me, but tabbed to the right, because I am the party host. I have the mute it right now, and if I unmute, you can see the thing there. You have a lot of options on people names as well. You can get into there just by clicking on the name. You can add more people if you needed to. Here it says current chat audio, which is party. Well, this is similar to other things where what happens if you need to be in the game and chatting with other people in the game? Well, you press the X button, chat audio, game. And right now, I'm not sure if this is a bug or not, but you can actually still hear people in your party that is not put into the game chat. I know you can't do that on another console. If that's built by design, that's freaking dope. Now, here's another one. You can prioritize the audio to be normal or chat. If you need more options, you can view the parties. You can leave the party, and when you leave, whoever was next in command will be the party leader. And you can chat in here as well. Now, PlayStation 3 had a chat where we didn't have cross-game chat, but we had cross-game text. And I'm here to tell you that this does not work like that. So don't do it, because technically you could do it in the a regular messaging now. So leave the party, shut that down. That's cool. Next on the list is the profile. Nothing big here. You get the nice little layout, and actually when you're in your friends list, this looks identically the same. Here I can edit the profile. I can check my privacy settings. With the privacy settings, is pretty good because I can say, hey, these people can't see my trophies, or these people can't look at my friends list. You can block your friends list from everybody. You can only have friends of friends. You can have open to the public. Same thing with your trophies, etc., etc. I can get right into my captures from here, but again, I can just press the share button. My introduction is right there. You can see my friends. You know, overall, just a good show. I didn't click the trophies there because although I can select it from here, I'm just gonna go over to the actual trophy section. I can compare trophies, whatever, but as you can see, it also has PS3, my PS3 stuff, my PS4 stuff, and I believe it's in the order of what I've earned as of lately. I can sync, I can compare information. Let me get into one really quickly. Let's try God of War. Show you how it displays, and it tells you, like, you know, the Champion of the Gods one is ultra rare. Only the 2% of the people that got this game installed have it. You know, this is rare, this is common. Like, that's pretty cool. And for you trophy hunters out there, or maybe the new trophy enthusiasts, this is going to make you want to go try to get that. So that's pretty cool. Now, getting into the settings, I mentioned to you already about certain settings, and I said that I would hold out until I get to a certain spot. And here is where everything happens. So we're gonna skip these two, get into the PSN thing. You can sign out here, account information. When you get your PS4, yes, you're gonna want to make this your primary PS4. Maybe restore a license. If you get your PS Plus membership running or reactivate it. Privacy and link with other services pretty much means Twitter and Facebooks. Facebooks. Oh man, I have so many jokes on Facebook. And as you can see, this is pulling from the network, so that's taking a while. That has nothing to do with the console, I guarantee it. And you know, you can handle that out. Now, I don't need to get into all this other stuff. Notifications is cool because if you don't want everything popping up, you don't want to be notified of certain stuff, you can say, hey, don't tell me when something's downloading, uploading, or when I get name requests. Just whatever. Your login settings. I mean, this is all your stuff that you expect. Here go that face recognition, passcode management, and this is in case you had the toy. So it is integrated, people, and there are commands for it, and they do work. It's not like the Kinect for the Xbox One, but it is here in case people want to use it. You know, your save data management is another thing that's like stuff sending up to the cloud, game saves and stuff like that. But one cool thing that's here, and for whatever reason the X1 doesn't have it, is you can get into your application storage right here. You may see that 862, yes, PlayStation 4 comes with 500 gigabytes of memory. I upgraded mine to a terabyte, so that is why I have such an insane amount of gigabytes. There's a video and the links, and there's a video in the description below. Now, here is my roll-up of what's going on in my system in a nice little color graph, bar graph. Applications, captures, application data, and at the bottom, free space. So applications, I could quickly see Netflix, Killzone, Battlefield, 39 gigs, 35 gigs, 35 gigs, almost 10. This is a good snapshot of what's going on. And yes, in here you can delete if you need to delete. You can get some information from here as well. Again, accessibility to certain information that's going on with your system. It's really cool. Captures take me into my capture folder, which you've seen in my profile, and I can go in here. Let's save that. Application data, again, stuff that's going to the cloud, save data stuff, all cool stuff right at your fingertips. Of course, you know this, you know that, typical. You see, you have your other things. In fact, I'm gonna show you devices real quick, so that way you can see that Bluetooth is ready. Right now it's just for my DualShock. Audio devices, which is for my headset, and yes, I can get in there and play with the headset volume on my device as well. If you have an external device, you can do it there too. This is using a USB headset, by the way. I am not plugged into my controller. Let me see, we did the controllers already. I can deal with the vibration and the speaker that's on the controller. External keyboard, the camera, if we had it on. Obviously I don't have one. And I can turn off devices. Now, I mentioned something about the sound just now. That option will be here. Auto output, chat audio. And if I do this right now, you should not be hearing the sounds of these menus, because all the chat audio is in the headphones. Trust me. Late night gaming, baby. When you don't want to wake up the wife or the kids or whoever, there you go. all the rest of the stuff, whatever. Oh, and I turned this shit off automatically. Hold on, let me put it on for you real quick. Ignorant gamers in the house, teabagging your mother, your father, your little sister and brother in all games. It doesn't matter if there's not a character to teabag. We will find out a way and just do it. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. So I had to turn that off. And as you can see, there's no real option to change the color background, etc, etc, etc. So don't ask, because you can't do it. Alright, out of the settings for this, I mentioned something earlier to you guys, which was the share functions. Actually, before I get into the share functions, let me show you. No, I'll save that for later. So I'll get into the share functions. So right now I'm going to hit the share button one time. Here's my upload clip or upload screenshot. Really quickly, I can just be like, okay, well, what's going on? Show me my stuff. I can share it to Twitter. I can share it to Facebook. I'm not going to do that right now. If I press the options button, I can preview it, by the way. And this was a screenshot I took to play around with. You see how they got it all showing up in per game, which is organization heaven, by the way. Then you have the clips. Why do I have a 2-second clip? Let's see what that 2-second clip is about. And the quality on the playbacks is actually pretty cool. Okay, I think it was maybe something more to that. Let's check this one out.
Come up from the bottom and just drill everybody.
Ho, you hear that? Did you hear that? My voice is in the clip. And yes, it does record whoever I'm talking to voice as well. So that's amazing in itself. If I wanted to send this clip, I can do that. Put it on Facebook. I can name it, put a comment, and hit share. And it also shared on my feed. But I can also edit the clip if I didn't want it to be so long. That was a 13-minute DVR clip. And yes, this thing records up to 15 minutes. So I can go in here and scrub the line. I can say I want down to 1 second. I'll do 60 seconds. You know, I can say, okay, well, let's start the clip. You know, let me see. Where can I start the clip from? I think I did some bullshit to somebody. You know, I can press L2 to start here. And I think I killed somebody over here. Boom. And then hit preview. One of the things I don't like is that that's a small ass preview. So they need to fix that, my personal opinion. And yeah, I think somebody comes around the corner, I see them and I go back.
They put it in the game for me to destruct shit with. I don't put it in the game, you gonna get tight, son.
So
come back. I know.
So you know what? We're just gonna trim that video anyway. Fuck it, live trim. I wasn't planning on showing you that, so we're gonna trim it. And I'll put LOL here. Share it. You're gonna see a notification on the left, and it's gonna tell me when it's added. So yeah, it's not as robust as a different one. I actually thought it was gonna be a little bit better than that. You can make montages, and you can only upload to Facebook as of right now. But fuck it, right? The other thing that I wanted to point out is live from PlayStation, which means streams. You can search, you can see what's the latest going here. Interactive is not available right now. Then you got Twitch, and you have Ustream. Now, why is this taking a little bit? I'm not sure, but this is what we're gonna do right here. We're going to search anyway. NFS, which is Need for Speed. And oh yeah, that's right, I'm uploading something, so right now this is being a little bit of a hassle, and that is because of my upload speed right now, by the way, people. That's my issue. As of right now, I'm using my DSL connection to upload this, so that's an issue. I'm using the lowest one just to show you guys, like, the struggle is real if you have a connection that is not as real as it should be. So we're gonna leave that there for a while and move on to the next thing. So considering that's a network thing, you need PlayStation Plus, as you can see in the upper right hand corner. You need PlayStation Plus in order to play PlayStation games online. Anything with multiplayer or co-op, you need PlayStation Plus. Other than that, you're free to run and use all these features as is. The only other thing that you should know about if you don't have PS Plus, Warframe, Blacklight, and the countless free-to-play games and demos, when you get your hands on them, you can play Blacklight Retribution, Warframe, and any other free-to-play games online without the PS Plus. So that means when you get your PlayStation, you can have your kids or yourself download DC Universe online. It's a big download, beware, and play that online without having a PS Plus membership. Again, you don't need a PS Plus membership for free-to-play games. I've told you already about the notification settings up here, so I don't have to regurgitate that. I told you about the messaging, so I don't have to regurgitate that. I told you about the party check. I already told you about the feed, but I didn't show you the feed. So let's go to the feed. Right now, because I'm uploading something, it's also going to take its sweet ass time. I picked the wrong time to upload something. I thought I should have used my standard. So I just swapped out my internet connection, and this will go up a lot faster now. I'm using my faster connection, and look what you see. Yes, the feed. So here's the feed of everything that goes on with all the friends. Again, you get 200 friends on the PlayStation Network now. I kind of wish it was 1,000 with some followers, but I'll get into that another time. I shouldn't have hit the refresh button on that. I should have just let it go as is. And yes, you can do a refresh. As it caught up to the last speed that it was at, we should be good now. I think I just shot myself in the foot with that. So this is one of the issues that I do have, is that when it is doing like an upload like that, the internet is like, it decides to only focus on that one area of expertise. And I'm not sure if that's a hardware thing or a software thing, but I know it's really fucking annoying when that comes into play, especially if we're supposed to be downloading and uploading, you know, all the time. And I really have only seen it happen when I'm uploading stuff, so I can't really tell or put a finger on what it actually is that the issue is taking its place. So I wanted to point that out. Alright, now so we finally got back to the refresh rate, and now you can see that the clip I uploaded is in my feed, which means my other friends can see it. And there has been some issues where people will see the box, but they're not able to see the actual video, and everything you share does go to your timeline. If you choose not to have it, then that's a different situation. You can have it blocked from friends. So here you can see all my friends, what they've been doing, if they uploaded screenshots, if they earned trophies, and you can go in and like the stuff. And you know, a lot of times you can go in and be like, oh well, what is this, NBA 2K14? You know, I like it, and then it will say, well, it's supposed to give me an option to buy the game, to be honest with you, and I'm not sure why I didn't do it right there. There we go. I could view in the store, I could buy it from right here, and that's a cool feature in itself. It also tells you when friends is made friends with other players and vice versa. All that stuff pops up right there. And here we go, we can see that my Shadowfall clip uploaded to Facebook. So also what the sharing features is when you want to go live. But before you go live, maybe you want to watch other people's stuff. And I'm not sure why I'm having such an issue tonight with trying to show this off. Here we go. And as you can see, everybody wants to be playing the free game. But let's look at this. And again, you're always at the mercy of two things when it comes to online streaming, whether it's on this console or not. You're at the mercy of your internet connection and whoever's trying to show you their game. So if both of you got terrible internet connections, your feed should be terrible. So here I am, I'm using someone's that's on their Ustream or watching their game. If I had the game, I can start it. I can drop a comment right here if I wanted to. Send it, and as you can see what a pop-up on is right. If I wanted to see full screen, I press square. Here's the full stream, and I can still, you know, interact with it and talk. But I'm gonna back out of here, and I want to find one where someone has it the other way. Here we go. So in this one, another Ustreamer, he has it where on the right is his voice. If he had the camera would show, and on the bottom, if he had comments flowing in, it'd be on the bottom. It'd be on the bottom gray area. And let me see if we can find somebody. Let's go to Twitch, because Twitch is more known for this shit. Let's see if we can. You have 38 people in your room, it says. Here we go. And you can see on the bottom left, he has comments flowing through. 45 people on the right, 221 total comments. He got his mic on. The only thing he's missing is his camera. He's doing it all. Now, one of the things that people don't know is, you know, when you want to stream, what do you do to stream? First of all, let me show you the search. One of my games that I want so bad, but I refuse to buy it, is Need for Speed. And as you can see, as I'm typing it, it's giving me, it's doing the auto type or the auto search. Yeah. So in the future, interact mode. Oh, wait a minute. No, is this live now? Japan has it now? Oh my god, Japan has it now. Oh shit. Wow, I didn't know that. That's a surprise. What the fuck is he playing? Is that DC Universe? I don't know what that is, but Japan has, you motherfuckers. They have interaction mode now. Shout out to them. Alright, well, I stand corrected. So, interact mode works on any of these. You could be Ustream or Twitch, and you can just put interact mode, and people can come in and toy with that for a bit. I'm gonna have to have something on that later. And that's how you get into watching the stream. Now, if you wanted to stream your game, I'll go up and I'll load this up real quick. Actually, I should have loaded up. Actually, I'll go and do that. Why not? Hold on. Right. There we go. Resogun. Resogun is a download game. Yes, we want to cancel Killzone. We load up Resogun. Here we go. Now, only thing I have to do is, let me get into the game first. I'm gonna just start something. Right now I press the PlayStation button, asks me what I want to do. I mean, sorry, not the PlayStation button, the share button. I hit broadcast. It says, hey, where you want to broadcast to? Just so I can show it to you on my stream. Actually, Ustream I think goes to my stream as well, but from my Twitter stream, I'm gonna hit Twitch because that automatically goes out to Twitter. I can also send a link to Facebook as well, and blah blah blah. I can have the mic on, the display comments on the screen, and I can start broadcasting. And there we go, just like that. Now, what I also could do is stop the broadcasting right here. I can get rid of display, I can get rid of the mic, and then go back. And there you go. But you know, you don't want to forget that you're actually broadcasting, so I usually keep it on. So I'm just gonna stop right there. And yeah, so that is your stream, just to do that. Now, that's all I care to talk about for the features, and I'll have a roll up at the end of everything. Now, get into the launch titles. I have Killzone Shadowfall, I have Knack, I have Resogun, and Playroom is automatically here because it comes installed. It comes installed with the console once you get it. Now, Playroom is camera required. Automatically throw that shit out. I can't talk about it. People who are using it, that bought the camera, they like it. It's pretty good. It's very fun for the children. I've seen it in action. Whoop-de-whoop. Resogun, one title, actually the strongest of the lineups from Sony exclusives right now. There's no Drive Club. That's a big deal. Resogun, which is an arcade game, which is an arcade indie game, I guess, and it's fun as hell. Got it free because of PlayStation Plus. I believe Contrast as well, but I'm not going to talk about Contrast because that is a multi-platform game. Knack has gotten mediocre reviews, but it is geared towards kids, so it still will resonate with kids, but as far as a gaming standpoint, it's not that strong. Killzone has also suffered some mediocre scores. Some are, I'd say, about from 7 to a 7.5, which, don't be a dick about scores. It's still a good game, and I tell you what, the multiplayer is fun. And overall, their exclusive launch titles lineup was not that impressive. It needed some more bass. It actually needed a car game. Shout out to Need for Speed Rivals for bumping up a week early because it was supposed to launch with the Xbox One. But it still doesn't make up for the fact that Drive Club was supposed to have been there, and Drive Club has been pushed back in order to make the correction, to make it work the way it's supposed to, because that's a game, that's a new IP that they can't release broken. And with that said, there is a lot of pressure now on Evolution Studios to make that game a success. To me, if it's an 8, 8.5, that game as a new IP is a success. No one knows anything about that game. Killzone, as I just mentioned, fun. The multiplayer is fun. The campaign is better than other Killzone campaigns. Maybe not the first two, but maybe not the first one. Killzone fans will tell you, but it's a decent title, about a 7. Knack is about a 6.5. But if you have children, they're gonna love it. Resogun, amazing arcade title. Coin-op, 2 players co-op, 2 players local. Wait, is it 2 players local? I think it's 2 players local. No, I think it's just 2 players co-op. And phenomenal game. Period. So overall, I want to say that I think the Xbox has outperformed number-wise. No, I'm not going with that. So overall, here's my closing arguments with the PlayStation 4 and its launch titles. I think the PlayStation 4 is the answer to anybody who owned or once owned a PlayStation 3. I think the party chat functionality is awesome, even if if it's not the reason why I can't call it, because we've all done it, we've tested it, where I can change my game to in-game audio and still be able to talk to the guys in the party. I don't know if that's a glitch, but if it isn't, that is built by design, that shit is awesome. I think the PlayStation hardware is amazing, and from what we've been able to tell graphically, and this is just the beginning of the life cycle. If you still have your PS3 and the games that come out in 2013, if any of them have any games that was made before that, yes, the investment will happen the same way. As the consoles get older, it's like wine, better with age. The controller, answer to anybody who had any beef with the PlayStation 3 controller. For this generation, some people are saying that this is the better controller. Obviously, the 360 is still being held as the greatest controller ever made. But for right now, for this generation, people are claiming that they really prefer this controller. The critics are saying that they prefer the PlayStation 4 controller, DualShock 4 controller for this generation. I think the ability to send all the audio to your headset and be able to use any standard 3.5 jack is amazing. I also think that the touchpad, although little underused as a swipe, and I'm actually upset that I can use L1 and R1 here, left and right on the D-pads here and left and right on the analog sticks here, but I can't use the D-pad, I can't use the touchpad here. It's a little disappointing, but it has other functionalities other places where you can do swipe, kind of like Android swipe. So that's neither here, and it's still cool. But at the end of the day, you can use the touchpad as the traditional select button. I think the share button is pretty awesome. They could use some work on the editing because you can't make montages. I think the share functions to Facebook is cool, but we need an option where you can remove that file from the PlayStation, whether you maybe upload it to Dropbox or something. Since it's blue, why not Dropbox, right? And download it so you can put it anywhere you want. The streaming functionality is great. One thing I didn't show you in the video is that you can actually take your stream and say, hey, I want it on best, because when it's out the box it's on high, and a lot of people don't know that. I think that the screenshots look phenomenal. You can check the Twitter feed or the links below. I think that the interaction mode that wasn't at launch, which is there, I need some more time to go check that out, because it wasn't available for us, and they snuck that in there, and I don't think anyone picked up on it. This is the first time I've seen it in there, and I always try to use it. The social feed is dope. It needs a little bit more polishing, and that will change once people start being able to share. And a lot of people don't. I feel like a lot of people are not sharing video clips because they don't want to share to Facebook. A lot of people don't want this stuff going to Facebook, and right now that is the only way to share to the feed any type of video. I like what they've done with the trophies and adding of friends and the request of the name stuff, setting up parties, being able to name messages, threading, naming messages, voice notes, naming your parties. All that is pretty dope. I think that one area that hasn't been touched on and no one's covered this in internet reviews of this is that there's no way to be signed on invisible. There's no way to be anonymous or busy. It's either you're online and you're offline. And one of the things that's a little bit more annoying this time around is I can't just easily just go to the PlayStation Globe on a PS3 and just hit triangle to say sign off. So that's a little annoying, because sometimes I just don't want to be bothered with people knowing that I'm online, and you get a bunch of party invites, etc, etc, etc. And the ability to, I don't have to be invisible. If I have to sign off, let me sign off, but you don't have the ability to do that, and I think that's a little disappointing. Games downloading in the background as you play, phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. It's always downloading, and you get the best out of it when you have the best connection possible in your house. DSL can go to hell in this generation. They're gonna have to do some work to keep people subscribed to that, and which means give the people files in the areas they don't want to give files to. The information that when you put your game the information when you put your cursor on the game and you go down into the game and it themes it out. I think that's pretty dope. It keeps all the information fresh. Everything down on the background, everything that does with the services when your console can be on standby mode and all that, what the PS3 was doing has been approved here, and this is an overall great product. If you're into the PlayStation family already, you can't go wrong with this console. To me, this is a buy, but not right now. Right now is tech demo central, which means everyone's just pulling out graphics. There are some stuff here, but the supply of gaming is limited right now. And I don't know if you noticed, there hasn't been a lot of stuff being announced for January or February. March will reset it, but unless there's something that you really want to play, you don't really have to buy next gen right now. I got videos on it, but if you did get it for Christmas, you are going to be fucking happy. Believe me when I tell you that. I think Sony has done justice in theory now, because this is too early to tell. I think they have room to grow. I think they have places to improve. I think they still got a point to prove with why they're throwing it back to the PS2 era when it was about games. And right now, between November 15th to the day I'm making this video to March, we're a little light on PlayStation games, and I'm a little worried that this is about to be the same thing that the Nintendo Wii U was just hung for. And I will voice my opinion on it, and the Xbox One is not far behind the same crap either. The PlayStation Plus is still a wonderful product. If you can, get it. If you own a PS3, a Vita, or a PSP, actually if you own all 4, 3, 2, or just one of them, get that PS Plus. It is well worth it. $50 for the year. It's across all the things. You're invited into the discount. You get free games. Come on. Also, you get time trials and discounts from time trial stuff too. So it's a must-have. If you have any other questions, any concerns about the PlayStation 4, if you want to know what's my favorite games on it or anything, ask any questions below. I'll be sure to answer it for you. And this has been the PlayStation 4 launch review. Yeah, I like it. I love it. I'm liking the potential of me to love it. I don't feel bad about my purchase, other than I normally wouldn't make this purchase because it's too early to buy a console right now. So without any further ado, I'm just gonna cut this video short. I'm gonna cut this video, and yeah, holla at me, Ignorant Gamers, and I'm out.